Thank you. All protocol observed. In the interest of time, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to abandon my original presentation. I had a PowerPoint presentation, and the document is here. But if I do that, I'll take too much time, and I will not be responding to issues raised. So I just comment. I was supposed to talk on the evolution of the Pan-African Parliament, which I think we've done before. I just remind you that it has been a long road until we are here. Just to say, 1963, when the OAU was formed, in its organs, there was no parliament, and there was no court and other organs. The parliament came only in 2004. That is very, very instructive to all of you. It only came after 41 years of existence of the OAU. Why? We are told the founding fathers then realized that without a parliament, the African Union was a union of member states and not a union of citizens of Africa. Again, that is very instructive. You came in for a particular purpose, and you have to fight for your space. So the parliament was the missing link, and indeed OAU did not achieve much. The governance framework without a parliament usually is the supreme organ. And it came in very well. Although it came in late, it came as number 3. There were other organs before, but still it was placed as number 3 from the heads of state. The foreign minister being number 2, and the commission was, even the PRC ambassadors, in terms of ranking, was lower than the parliament. The genesis of PAP, just in brief, it can be traced back in 1970. Several resolutions by the head of state. And then in Addis Ababa again, 73, in Kinshasa, 78, this matter kept coming on the agenda. Libreville, 77, Lagos, 1980. But the most decisive step from 1970 was taken in Abuja, Nigeria in 1991. That was the most decisive step when they decided that, no, we now need to form a parliament, a proper parliament. And it came as a result of the realization that you cannot boost economic integration and growth of economies without a parliament. And then they said in Article 7 that where there shall be a PAP as an organ of the OAU then, to ensure the full participation of African citizenry in the economic development integration of the continent. And as you are aware, then we went to CERT 1999, and then there's what's called a CERT in Libya, that the CERT declaration, then which defines the pillar and the ground for realizing the economic development of the continent and integration. And so it's also called to deepen the implementation of the provisions of the various programs. And then 2004, the PAP was launched in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. So some of the comments I can make is that when we said 60 years, celebrating 60 years, I think in all your minds something comes up also. At 60 years in most countries is a retirement age. 60 years, some is 60, some 65. But in most countries, even the AU itself, there are staff that will retire here at 60. Once you reach 60, you go. You are taken to be tired. Go and rest. So it means what you have not achieved at 60. It means you leave it to your sons to achieve. You have failed, or your children. So I think that's very, again, we think about 60 years is a bit too much. Unfortunately, when we talk of the AU at this age, also we don't evaluate what it has done. I think there should be quite a serious evaluation, which I don't think will produce good results. So better leave it. See, the problem is that decolonization, independence, formation of AU have been taken as an end in themselves. That's a problem. You think by getting independence, you think, oh yeah, we are there, we're finished. No, it's a beginning of the journey now. You are now in the race of economic development, which is not quite coming. And some of these issues, I'll leave them. A good list of former good leaders. But I take note of the attempt to, yes, we should praise them. But I think there are so many. Some have been left out. Of course, if we went through the whole list, we'll be here the whole day. But for us, we should be asking ourselves, why was PAP formed and was given all the good functions that Professor Lumumba says PAP has not been performing to the level of its expectation? And I remember the chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Musa Faki, also when he addressed us the day we held the elections here, he said the same thing. He said PAP has performed below expectation. That is true, I'll never deny that. But if you look at the history of PAP as an organ, and we see that performance requires that you have the capacity to perform. And the capacity is a human capacity. Who are the MPs? If you look at the Professor Matole's presentation here, and among others here, there are several, you show that there is capacity in PAP. If you look at this presentation, listen, there's capacity in this parliament. We have men and women of capacity, of quality here. So, but why is it that we don't realize the results? I think the clear one is that we have been put here, as I said, to the PRC in January when we presented our report. I said, look, yes, now we are reborn after June 29. We are a new PAP. We have come up with strategies to reinvent, and I am happy Professor Lumumba mentioned re-energizing. We also said in August we have re-energized ourselves as PAP. The problem is, and as Lumumba said, he said you should go a PAP that goes to the people. But on the budget of going to the people, there is a zero. It's called missions by committees. Committees have no money to do anything, to go anywhere. I'll talk to Lumumba after this and say, you left out one thing. How PAP can be resourced. And I told the PRC last time that we are like a car. After June last year, we have reinvented, we have everything, new tires, engine new, everything, well painted, everything. But this car, the tank is empty. There's no fuel to go anywhere, just stationary. PAP now needs fuel. That's the energy. Energy means the fuel. We don't have that. It's a very serious issue. I don't go to too much detail about it, but it's true that people may look at us from the outside without knowing what is happening right inside. The members raised some issues. Okay, but I want also to say this issue of peace talks on the African continent taking place in Saudi Arabia. I think we need a motion on that one sometime, maybe not. I think we have as parliamentarians. I'll also mention that, in fact, when I met President Ruto in Nairobi, when I was persuading him to attend our session, he said two things, and one I mentioned it the other day. He said, one, PAP make sure that the Africa Continental Free Trade Area is implemented. The other, he said, would want you to comment on what he himself commented and spoke on in depth about this issue of African heads of state being invited everywhere by all sorts of presidents, short and tall, and others, and then basically showing lack of respect. But he said, can you as PAP also debate that issue? And I think it should, we look forward to a motion on the treatment, and including a motion on why do peace talks take place outside the continent. Look at the Ethiopia Tigris issue. It came at least on the continent to South Africa, and it succeeded within a week. It means when you are on your own soil, even the spirits respond quickly than when you do it out too far away from home. And the other that maybe I'll talk to Professor Lumumba about, as we sit here, some MPs have already gone back. Some will tell you we are given money for 5 days, some for 10 days only. Some, the delegation of 5, they say only 2 can go to PAP. All those are challenges about whether PAP can perform. And I think we should look at it seriously. The issue of whether Ghana or Sudan, or sorry, not Sudan, so whether Ghana or Sudan, I think we have heard you. Some will go and read, and those books can help, of course. The issue of Botswana and Mauritius, I think one of the key issues are my neighbor to Botswana. I think they've been very good at managing their own natural resources. Their diamond. They have been very good at managing their diamond. It doesn't go into the pockets of politicians, and that's why they are doing very well. And then, Honorable Azadin, thank you, he's gone. We'll invite the families of founding fathers. Of course, if they also have resources to travel, to come, sometimes we don't have the money ourselves. They say families. I thought family would include the mother. A visit Soweto, agree. I don't think there is a big issue. PAP outside, and that's Honorable Muntaka, we agree. The issue of ratification of the Malabo Protocol can take more time here. It is not currently not a straightforward type of issue. There are countries that are resisting. I think we need to have a session ourselves, just one morning, where we honestly say, why are you not ratifying? Why are you not ratifying? Why are you not ratifying? Yes. I think that will help us a lot. And then we see where the stumbling blocks are, and some countries not paying. We agree, and I agree that to change, we as parliamentarians need to point out ourselves and say, we ourselves, there are certain things that we have not done. Honorable Chuku from Angola, you have been an ambassador in Addis before. And we take note of your advice that we should have a permanent delegation. Yes, I know it works very well. And the role of women in liberation in the diaspora, I think is agreed. I didn't quite get Honorable Majimbo's point, the one from Kenya, when he spoke of the stick. I didn't quite get it. I don't want to guess what he meant. Maybe that you have already given sticks. And I don't. You may have to show us the natural stick. Oh yeah, it is being proposed that maybe on Monday go and collect it. Then you stand here. And then Ethiopia, very good. Honorable look, Haile Selassie, I think, even that the AU offices are in Addis, It's a confirmation of the role that Haile Selassie played in emancipating people on this continent. And the 6th region from the princess, the 6th region, I think it's a good point. And the visa problems, you are right. And we need to debate these issues. And I don't want to take longer than this. I am done. Thank you very much.